The Football World Cup's the biggest sporting event in the world, and you can keep up with the play with me, Jason Pine, and my good mate and former All White David Choate on Football Fever. Listen daily throughout the World Cup as we bring you all the action from Qatar. Choate and I love football. We can't wait for the World Cup to get underway. So join us as we live through all the goals, all the drama, all the glory. Download Football Fever from iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. The White Ferns have completed a clean sweep of Bangladesh in their three-match T20 cricket series. The two sides now move into 50-over mode. The first of three matches tomorrow at the Basin Reserve from 11. Lea Tahuhu, prominent with bat and ball in the T20 series.
Lea Tahuhu goes big. Has she got enough? Yes, she has. That's the first KFC maximum. Oh, it's hoyed away. Should be out and is. Fran Jonas. The safe hands of Fran Jonas. Lea Tahuhu.
In the three matches, 4 for 6, 1 for 23 and 3 for 13 with the ball. That's 8 wickets at an average of 5.25 and only 3.5 runs and over. A couple of bats as well. 13 not out off 9 balls in game 1 and 17 off 8 deliveries in game 2. Not bad for a player who doesn't currently have a central New Zealand cricket contract. Lea Tahuhu is with us. Thanks for joining us, Lea. How do you reflect on the way the White Ferns played overall in that T20 series?
Yeah, I think overall I'd give it a pass mark. I think we've been looking at a style of play that we want to sort of implement heading into the World Cup, and I think don't get me wrong, there's certainly areas that we're still looking to improve on, but certainly in a good place looking forward to that World Cup in a couple of months' time.
So what are the key planks in that strategy, the way that the White Ferns want to play T20 cricket in particular?
Yeah, I think you've seen there's been a few different things happening with our batting order, I guess, and it's something that we really want to go out and take on the power play. And we know that if we can score 160 in T20 games, you're in a good place to win games. And then I just think with our bowling, it's about taking wickets up front. Again, if you look at stats and bits and pieces, and it's something that Ben is big on, is that if you can take 3 wickets in the power play, you always put yourself in a good position to be in a winning, position at the end of the game, I guess.
Well, you were certainly a big part of that with your wicket taking. Overall, how happy were you personally with your own bowling performances?
Yeah, really happy. Look, I've done a lot of work over the past few months and played a little bit in Australia, and we obviously had a tour of the West Indies that wasn't exactly conducive to pace bowling, but it was an opportunity, I guess, to put a lot of work into the nets and look at the opposition that we'd be coming up against, and you have to change your tactics slightly against Bangladesh and look to go a little bit fuller. I think they sit on the back foot and wait a bit. So it was about trying to swing the ball up front early and sort of take as many wickets as possible that way. And then, looking at different ways to get them out, whether that's using a short ball or just going as straight as possible as well.
Has the way that you bowl in T20 cricket in particular changed much over your career?
Yeah, look, it's probably changed slightly, I'd say. When I first sort of came into the team, I was, I guess, the tear-away quick, and there wasn't necessarily a lot of control there, and it took a bit of time, and I guess age and maturity helps with that as well, to bring that consistency in. And then I think in the last, back end of my career now, I've probably dropped a couple of Ks in pace, but the consistency's there and probably targeting the stumps a little bit more, which always helps in being able to take more wickets as well.
Yeah, and it must be quite nice for you to have that brief in a game like T20 where runs are precious and often at a premium, and often bowlers, try to conserve runs. To have the license to try and take wickets, is that something that you relish?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's something that, when you're bowling in the power play, that that's your role. That's your job, is to try and get the team off to a good start. And so as much as you can do that, you're obviously putting the team in a good position to be able to win games of cricket. And
with the bat as well, Lea, you've been used as, I guess, what you describe as a bit of a pinch hitter, coming out and just trying to go from ball one. Is batting in T20 something you've spent a bit more time on?
Yeah, I am. I've done a lot of work on my batting over the last probably 12 to 18 months, and that all really started with Bob. He saw an opportunity to use me in that role and float up and down the order and try and get out there and score some quick runs. So, yeah, it's something that I'm really enjoying. It's always something that, I guess, for me, I've had a lot of power with batting, and I probably just haven't had the smarts to go with it, whereas I think, again, being a little bit older and a little bit more mature, sort of found a way that works for me, and that's a style that, the team's brought into, and Ben has continued on with that.
Given what happened earlier in the year when the central contract list came out and your name wasn't on it, do you feel in any way vindicated by these performances? No, look, to be perfectly honest, I'm sort of sick of talking about the contract situation.
it is what it is. It was a long time ago now that happened, and I've moved on and continued to play cricket, and thankfully continued to be selected in the New Zealand team, and that's all I want to do is play as many games as possible for my country. Absolutely love being a part of that team, and I just want to go out there and contribute to as many wins as possible, and looking to do something really special with this team in a couple of months' time.
All right, well, I'll take your hint on not wanting to talk too much about the contract situation. But I did want to ask, because it wasn't just you, of course. Your wife, Amy Satterthwaite, also left off that contract list, and she has subsequently retired as a player. As a couple, how challenging a time was it for you both?
Yeah, look, there's no denying that at the time it was extremely challenging. It was something that was out of the blue, but we've been able, I guess, to move on from that. Amy went over to the WBBL as an assistant coach with Adelaide and won the thing. So she's sort of, I guess, been able to put it behind her really nicely. And, she had a fantastic career as a player, and I think she's really going to develop into a fantastic coach as well, and hopefully have a really good career there. And for me, it's just been about playing cricket still. It sort of feels like I never left the team. I didn't miss a tour. I missed a few camps and bits and pieces, but apart from that, I've been on tour with the girls still, playing games of cricket, and just really loving the fact that I'm still able to play cricket.
Awesome. And you mentioned the World Cup a couple of times. Is that well and truly next year's World Cup, early next year's World Cup on your radar now?
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think you can't deny it's only 7 weeks away. So those are our last T20s that we had, official T20 games to build up to the World Cup and look to put plans in place and bits and pieces like that. So it's in the back of your mind, and every training session you're doing, you're thinking about a pinnacle event coming up, and that's the next big one for us that we really want to go over there and make a statement.
Fantastic. Hey, Leah, thanks indeed for taking the time to chat to us.
Deep underground the Jelly Belly factory, Bibi is in her secret laboratory creating the weird and wild flavours of Bean Boozled.
I started again.
Is it pomegranate or old bandage? Dare to compare. Bean Boozled, 6th edition. Are you brave enough?